Good afternoon, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took two trades right at the market open. We're going to go over everything that happened right now. I'll tell you the first one stopped me out and the second one hit my 2-hour profit target. Both trades were on the same ticker symbol. So I like to show you my mid-cap screener first. That's the way I pick my stocks. So let it open up here. I go to my screeners, mid-ish caps. These are my criteria. Always click these three dots, click on modify, and that'll make sure that your filters are active. And then I organize the list by volume. And then I just look at the stocks that are going up today. There's a ton of green, but at the open there were quite a few opportunities, but there wasn't as many as right now. And you'll see right here when we go on to my chart page in the video. So American Airlines, CLF, US Steel, and then RIOT popped up as well. So the thing about RIOT versus these other stocks is I really liked the pattern. Now, this is what's tricky when you get a bunch of options like this. So US Steel already broke out over its previous high. So I could take an entry as soon as a 1-minute candle makes a new high. It hasn't yet. American Airlines is about to break through its previous high, and it will also give me an entry eventually. And I could take it, and everything would be within my strategy. Same thing here with CLF. It's already broken out through the previous high. But the thing is these were kind of like choppy consolidation patterns here. I tried not to use a lot of subjectivity, especially with technical analysis, because I don't really believe in technical analysis. I think it's a fallacy. I definitely use it to pick my entries, my stop losses, things like that. But as far as it being able to pick successful winning trades, I think it's kind of like a 50-50, and that's why I use the all or nothing 2R risk management. That way, if it's only right half the time, I'm still making money because I'm always I'm always making twice my risk. So RIOT had a much nicer ABCD pattern, more textbook pattern. So I did allow some subjectivity into my trading today as far as picking the stock that I decided to take a trade on. I mean, it was really kind of a race to see who was going to give me an entry first, because RIOT was also trading above its previous high. I didn't get a chance to put a yellow line on the chart, but it would be right here. That was the previous high. So it broke right out through that high before anything else did. But I believe American Airlines might have given me an entry before RIOT, but I kind of ignored it because I was focused on RIOT. And you can see here it's pulling back, so I'm just waiting for a 1-minute candle to make a new high. Actually, it looks like US Steel gave me the first entry. So US Steel, I could have entered right here, put my stop loss here. And I'm not even sure, honestly, if that trade worked out or not. But I didn't take it. I was just looking at this more textbook ABCD pattern. And we'll see what happens. It's kind of interesting how, I focused in on that, despite what I said where, I'm not really that big of a believer in technical analysis. So here is me hovering over this candle. The high is 28.73, and I'm looking for 28.74 or better to get in. Happens right here. Watch this bubble there, 28.74. You can see I triggered my hotkeys. I got in at 28.78. I moved my stop loss up to the low of the previous 1-minute candle. That way, if this thing just reverses all of a sudden, I'm protected, and now I can use my 2R calculator, which you can download from the Facebook trading group, Trading Armor. This gives me my profit target, 29.48. And so far, it looks like the trade is going in my favor. Just moving the profit target down to that 29.48 level. So now the trade is taken care of. I don't have to do anything else. That's the beauty of these bracket orders. You are protected. So let's take a look. Let's fast forward this thing. Look at American Airlines taking off. So my entry on American Airlines would have been right here for the break of this candle, and the stop loss would have been over there. And that one did go to 2R. It wasn't that great of a trade, like money-wise, but it was a successful 2R trade, and it would have won the very first 2R trade, which is just an interesting note. It's not to say that that's going to happen every day. You never know. So just because of say like one occurrence in the market, you can't make a plan around that or rules around that for sure. You have to track a lot of data. So let's take a look at, so here what I'm doing is I'm typing in what my ideal entry would have been, 28.74, and the target would have been 29.36. It didn't really matter here. It didn't hit either before it stopped me out. So, and this is the textbook pattern that I'm talking about. You can see down here, there's point A, point B, and then it pulls back to point C. This is a beautiful ABCD pattern. You know, in any technical analysis book, it will show afterwards the price going up. Doesn't mean it has to, and that's why you use a stop loss, and that's why I'm using a stop loss here, and I'm more than happy to take my stop loss if that pattern fails. This is also another form of support and resistance. A lot of people ask me about support and resistance. Well, that's built into the ABCD pattern. The idea is that point C comes down and finds support, and you can see kind of a double bottom there. So there is support there. It's support on a shorter time frame, and if support is broken, I don't want to be in the trade, and that's why my stop loss is right there just below the support. I always put it 1 cent lower than that candle. So the whole idea behind support and resistance is support should hold. Buyers should be at support, and they should push the price up. If they're not there, you don't want to be in the trade in a long position. Long meaning you want the price to go up, not that you want to be in the trade for a long time. So there's a lot of struggle with the buyers and sellers here. Basically what this thing does is it starts trading sideways here. It goes into consolidation. And it looks like it's finally going to hit my target, but it doesn't. It reverses, comes back down. And then as soon as that support level is broken, then my stop gets hit. You know, so let me just show you that in real time. So we're here at 28.53, just keep an eye on that bubble, boom. And I ended up getting filled exactly at 28.43, so I didn't catch any slippage even though that was a big fast flush, so that's a good thing. So my strategy says that once I get stopped out of a trade, I have to look for the next entry. And I have statistics, I have data showing after many trades that my second trade is more likely to work than my first, and my third trade is even more likely to work than my second trade. So that's why I just keep on taking entries. If I do lose 3 trades in a row, then I just stop trading. Okay, so here is, and the reason why that is, you might think, just let me explain that for a second. You might think, well, if the third is more likely to work out, then the fourth is even more likely to work out. And that's, I can almost guarantee that that is true. The problem is once I've lost 3 trades, I've already lost 3R. So if my fourth trade works, so that means 3 times my risk. If my fourth trade works, I've won 2R on that trade. I'm still down minus 1R on the day. So, and there's still a chance that that fourth trade will fail. So I'd rather just cut my losses after those 3 losers and try again the next day. So there's another, you know, there's a psychological component there as well. The longer you trade and the more losers you take, the more likely you are to start breaking your rules and taking bad entries and all that kind of stuff. So all of that is built into that, you know, the reason why I stop after 3 trades. Okay, so let's look at, this is the trade number 2. I'm hovering over this candle. The high is 28.33. So on this candle, I'm looking for 28.34 or better. So let's keep an eye on this bubble. So it bounced up above 28.33 and then came right back down to it. I hit my hotkeys immediately as I saw that, and I got filled at 28.37, which is a little bit of slippage, but nothing really. On a $30 stock, 3 cents. Was that like a 0.1%, I think? So let's see. So now my stop loss is at the low of the previous candle that I entered on. I'm using the 2R calculator to give me my profit target, just like always, and I move my target down to the appropriate level. So now this trade is all set, and of course this trade has a lot more likelihood of working out, again based on technical analysis, because the target is well within all of this kind of trading. Basically, this is where a bunch of traders are buying and selling the stock, so the chances of my target getting hit are much higher than if it was, say, above the high of the day. But that doesn't mean it has to work out. I've been in tons of trades like this where I have this exact same setup and it hits my stop loss and I lose, and then I take the third trade and it hits my stop loss and I lose. So the point I'm trying to make is there's no guarantees in trading, and you can't make decisions based on, wow, this looks like such a great setup, because even the great setups fail. So the best thing to do is to just trade the same way on every trade, try to take the same risk on every trade, and that way statistics will work in your favor over time. So I'm fast forwarding here. You can see this trade is looking good, but then look, it starts to reverse against me. I don't worry about it. I just keep my profit target where it is. and then the profit target gets hit and everything is great. So let me show you one thing on the actual RIOT chart right now, and we'll see what happened with that chart a little bit later. So here's RIOT. Let's see, where was my target? Like 28.48. So this was where I was in that second trade. I got in for the break of this candle. Here was that little pullback, and then I guess it was 28. Let me just go back in the video real quick. Where was that profit target? 28.81. So we got hit right there, and then look what happened. This thing just continued on. Really nice run. There's no way of knowing that that's going to happen. And if you think that you're going to follow that up with your stop loss or something like that, I mean, more power to you. Good luck. I tried that for many, many months, and it's nearly impossible to catch a move like this, especially when you know you have previous resistance at this level. And look what happened right here. This thing started to chop around. So I almost guarantee you would have gotten stopped out at here, $29 basically, which is not much higher than where my profit target was. So the only point I'm trying to make is it's very difficult to follow these runs up, especially after you were just in a real choppy move like that. There's nothing about this price action that tells you that this is going to happen or even has a high likelihood of happening. So that's why I always just trade for 2R. Once I get my 2R profit, then I'm done trading and that's it. And that way the statistics work in my favor in the long run. And let's take a look at the spreadsheet right now. So this is today down here at the bottom. And those are my RIOT trades, the first and the second one. And then my average win rate of all of these days right now is 53.57. Break even is 33.7 with all or nothing 2R trading. And the actual win rate with all the trades is up to just about 42% now, which is really good. If I could keep it at 40%, I would be very happy. So the fact that it's above 40% is great. And then the average, well, this is the win rate without errors. This is even better. This is a reflection of the plan itself, 47.62%. And the average of those two numbers is right here. So that kind of gives you an idea of how things might go in the future. And it looks like this is working because you can see how this number has been getting closer to this number as we've been going on. So that kind of shows you, as I adjust my plan, as I improve my own trading, that these two numbers are getting closer together. So that means that my actual win rate with my win rate without errors are also getting closer together. So hopefully that makes sense. And then my win rate with after just 3 trades is 46.51. That's because in the beginning I was taking more than 3 trades and I could see that they were all failing. So I just said, you know what, forget it. Let me just do the 3 trades. And then you could see my win rate on each of those trades. First trade, 38%. That sounds low. It's still above break even. It still makes me money. I'm still up 3 times my risk on the first trade. Second trade has a win rate of 50% right now. And the third trade has a win rate of 62.5%. And I'm up 7 times my risk on both the second and third trade. So the results so far, this is of total trades. This is with the error trades and everything. 48 total trades, 22 are winners, 28 1R losers. So when you put those in this equation here, you get that we're up 12 times our risk on the whole set of trades in this test trading. And then if I've only taken 3 trades from the very beginning, then I would only have 43 total trades, 22 are winners, 23 1R losers, and I would be up 17R. So just, you know, whatever you would risk on each trade. If you're risking $10 per trade, you could be up $170 right now. If you're risking $100 per trade, you could be up $1,700 right now. $1,000 per trade, $17,000. It gives you the idea. So anyway, and that's theoretical. That's not to say that it's going to be that exact, because what could happen is I might take some trades that have a different risk than others, and that's going to eat away or possibly boost the amount of risk that we are winning on each trade. So it depends, and we'll just kind of keep track of that down the road when we're trading with full position size, because right now you can't really track that kind of thing when we're just trading with one share. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.